Then we won't lose it. All right, we're officially recording, FYI. And I'm gonna let all these people turn their videos on and stuff.
Whatever they like. I don't know.
All right. Hey everyone. I've let a bunch of people in the room now. Feel free to hop in, ask questions in the chat, and we'll get started in just one moment. How are you doing, Jude?
Oh, all good. Barely sleeping, but you know how it is in those days. Who needs to sleep?
Yeah, we had a great conference. The other day. You did an excellent job. It was fun. Crazy.
I've been pinged by a lot of people directly, and they kind of wow. People like those kind of stuff that wake you up. You know, you be alert. What's going on? Wow, stuff going on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Kyle said you brought the lightning to the security token summit. There was something going on with, I don't know if it was like the live stream or lighting in your house or something, but every once in a while there's like a flash of light that looked like was happening behind you, and I started joking that you're like charging your particles.
Yoda behind me. I mean, he practiced. Yeah. So it kind of.
It was pretty great. Really good stuff. So. We're recording this, so anybody who's watching and listening can feel free to jump in the chat, ask a question. I'll try to get everyone on. Kyle's asking me a question. You know what, Kyle? I set recording, but I'm going to try to make you the admin if you're cool with that. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're cool with that, and then you can actually be in charge of letting people in while I'm talking. Awesome. More. Make host. Change host. All right, Kyle, you are the host now, so you should be able to mute people, let them on and off, do your thing. So Jude, you know, I think this was partly a community AMA situation, but also me asking questions. I would love to get the update on what you're working on. I know that all of these puzzle pieces are starting to come together, and I would love to hear the update. So I'll mute myself, go through your deck, share what's going on, and then people in the chat, again, feel free to ask any questions.
Yeah, so first I will give a little bit few words about myself for those that are not familiar with my history or our company. So I'm Israeli guy, originally from Tel Aviv, relocated to the United States after I sold my last company. I basically a serial entrepreneur. I built 5 companies, sold 3 of them, and each one of them was completely by mistake. I never built a company to solve it. I all the time built something in order to solve my own issues, and suddenly somehow it's always end up to be a company. Because probably I'm not the only one that have an issue. Probably other people have some issues too. So it's nice to solve my own issues, but it's solving any other people's issues too. And now we have a new organization that we built in the last few years called Adam Foundation. And I want to introduce Adam Foundation in a way that we could be clear what it is, because as you said, we have a lot of projects and they come together. So that's true. They come together under this umbrella that's called Adam Foundation. So in Adam Foundation, we do one thing and one thing only. And this is all our focus, which is basically solving liquidity. And what I mean by that, if you're thinking about the blockchain in the way that you're thinking about the internet without the speed, it's like the blockchain without liquidity, right? And there's still a lot of industries or markets inside of our niche, right? In our space, that they're not really efficient when it's come to liquidity. So for example, the real estate industry, the insurance industry, even the crypto market, which is the most efficient industry that's supposed to be inside of the blockchain when it comes to liquidity, is not yet so efficient. For example, if I want to move from it to BNB, I need to do 4 or 5 clicks in order to do so. I need to have BNB in my wallet to pay the Binance Smart Chain fees, but I don't have BNB, so I cannot buy BNB because I don't have a BNB. So it's become to be like catch-22 here, you know? And then I have BTC that I want to move from BTC to Ethereum or Cardano to Tezos, and suddenly I'm getting wrap BTC. I'm getting sidechain. I'm getting lightchain. I get everything except what I want, right? And I have validator now with Polkadot. I mean, for God's sake, you only need one person to hack to the oracle that's holding those wrap BTC, changing the face value of the BTC to something that is not face value of BTC, scoop all those BTC, and everybody will be left with wrap nothing. Or you only need small village in China or North Korea attack in order to take over the validator, because it's who have more money is make decision, right? So obviously, if the entire economy is based on who have deeper pocket, I can ensure you that it's a it's a bad recipe, right? So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that whenever you have big money and you have people, it's always bad combination. Stuff going sideways in many ways, and people get hurt eventually. And in Atom Foundation, not only that we try to solve liquidity issues, we also try to make clear that the way that we solve it will be no human being involved. It has to be code-based and completely trustless, right? And another thing that we also pay attention to, and it's important to us to keep keeping it like that, is that we try to keep stuff simple, like one click in, one click out, right? So in other words, think about Binance for a second. When you go to Binance, they have a lot of features, right? Everything maybe it's related to trading, but you have this feature and this feature and this feature and that feature. And you have so many moving parts that suddenly you have Academy part just to educate you what's going on with all those features. And it's very transparent because, I mean, when I received my first iPhone, I never had a book to read instruction how to use it. And it's more complex than Binance, right? So why do I need Academy in order to get a ball with someone, right? So stuff needs to be simple and easy to be used. Think about it like Yahoo, a lot of moving part, a lot of noise, versus Google. Clean sheet, one button, one click in, one click out, right? So this is what we are focused on. And today I want to introduce in this call what is called SmartSwap. So the SmartSwap, and by the way, just about, we have other projects, but again, all of them working together, and maybe I will come back to that in order to explain a little bit more about them. But first, you know what, let me switch to the SmartSwap. So this is the SmartSwap, right? Can you see the browser that I just opened? Can you see it on this side? Is it the SmartSwap? Give me a thumbs up if yes. Yeah, okay. So the idea of the SmartSwap, and I know, by the way, that today everybody have everybody have some kind of swap something, food swap, falafel swap, burger swap, everybody have swap, right? But you need to understand that when we created the SmartSwap, it was during 2017, right? And there was even before there was DeFi. And we couldn't launch that back then because we couldn't explain to people what is slippage free and how we're solving the liquidity issue in the market, because there was not yet a problem to be solved and nobody know what is a slippage is, right? So it was too earlier, and it's happened to us a lot. We have a lot of projects that are too earlier to the market, so sometimes they're late bloomer. So with SmartSwap, now is the time to launch it because people understand what is slippage, people understand that there is an issue, and I want to explain how the SmartSwap basically changing the game and solving all those issues. So the first thing to understand is that we do not speak the same language that every other swaps or any other platforms using. So for example, everybody say, take BTC, give me X, give me X ETH, or take BNB, give me X Cardano, right? It's not the way that we speak or talk, because in the future, nobody going to talk like that, right? In the future, when you go to Amazon, you don't going to say, how much this TV cost? And the answer will be 0.7 ETH. Oh, sorry, 0.69, because the ETH has been changed, right? Nobody going to speak like that. Everybody going to stick with whatever they're familiar with, which is euro, yen, dollar. That's what people know, right? So we are sticking with those language as well. So when you come to the SmartSwap and you say, I want to transfer $100, pay attention that you do not the one to decide what's the face value of your token. Unlike some places that you're the one to decide whatever you want. You can say, my token worth $100, give me 110 just because I asked for. If there is counterparty that agree with you, good for you. If not, maybe somebody will offer you 90 and then you will agree with them, right? That's how volatility being created. With the SmartSwap, it's impossible. You cannot decide what's the face value of your token because we take the prices from the average market, like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and exchanges in the world that trading this token right here, right now, in real time with real other users. And also pay attention that you cannot edit how much you want to receive. There is no possibility for you to say, give me 99 or 101. You have to receive exactly the same face value. And I will explain why. The way that the SmartSwap works, it's basically a unique technology, first of its kind, that's removing the volatility completely from the first place. So in other words, imagine to yourself that you have $100 of asset A, and you want to sell it for me for $90 or $110, right? You want above or below the face market. So what will happen, if I will send you $90, the SmartSwap will understand that you have $100 asset and I have $90 asset, and it will swap only 90 against 90, and it will return the other 10 to your wallet. It will not give it to me. If I will send you 110, it will swap 100 against 100, and then it will return to my wallet the other 10. It will not let you to receive 110. So in other words, we do not try to kind of fix the slippage or fix the volatility afterward. We don't try to address that after it's occurred. We actually prevent that from the beginning to actually happening. So there's no slippage. And the way that it works, I will show you here. Let's say I want to swap one ETH to BNB. Sorry, $1 of ETH to BNB. So pay attention that I do not have BNB in my wallet. I'm paying the BNB fees with my ETH. And the other way around, I pay my ETH with the BNB. And that's how it's supposed to be. And when I do that, pay attention that I don't need to click claim, or I don't need to provide another wallet to where I want you to send the other token to. So I just coming in and shoot one click, and that's it. It's done. It's over, right? And the moment that the transaction will move from one side to another, I will click over here to show you basically the transaction on the Binance scan and the Ether scan in order to show you that I really send it and receive real BNB and no wrap between, okay? Now, another thing until that will happen, it's important to understand that not only that it's a slippage free, we actually reimburse the user 100% for the gas and the fees. So what that means, it's very important for us that the user will not end up paying anything, okay? And when we're charging the 0.3% for every time we're swapping, unlike Uniswap that given it to the LP provider, we don't do that. We give it back to the public. We're using the 0.3% in order to buy smart tokens from the market and burn them. And actually, when you're sending transaction and you pay the gas and we're charging you for that, we're using like a carpool. You know, when you go to Uniswap directly, you have your wallet and Uniswap and you pay, like, let's say $40, $70, or $30, or $20. But if you joining, imagine that there is a lot of people that want to swap in the same peers, right? So we can, it's like instead of you driving the car alone, imagine yourself that there is a bus. So obviously we can reduce the cost for everybody, and there's more money coming in to burn more smart token in the market. So basically for every transaction on the same block, we're making more money than we reimburse you. We don't make money. The smart community people make more money than they reimburse you. And then, all right, so then what's another thing to understand is the liquidity. So let's talk about liquidity, because as you remember, we are in the game in order to solve liquidity. This is what we do as a company, right? And it's important to understand that all the AMM, like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, whatever, they're not going to survive. And I will tell you why. And the reason is because they're not scalable. What I mean by that they're not scalable is that if you have an AMM, right, with a pool, you obviously want to play ball with those that have a lot of liquidity, right, because there is a minimum slippage. But you need to understand that once the market will be open to the mass adoption, you will need to park almost the entire money in the world in order to minimize the slippage for the entire world to play. And I'm not sure that there will be people left with money to play if everybody will park the money in. But that being said, I don't see my grandmother parking anything, not even in a car, right? Even that she will not park. So nobody going to take money and start park money on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. Regular people do not understand that stuff. They don't want to understand that stuff. Even though the Nasdaq is open for everybody, they don't go and play. That's not what they like. They don't want it. They just want to wake up in the morning and have a simple life. And what I'm saying by that is that all the billions of dollars that you see right now on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, it's nice because it's small change. It's only a few billions, but it cannot scale to trillions. Make sense? Right?
Yeah, totally.
So that's why there is a ceiling, how much the DeFi industry can really scale, and it's going to hit that ceiling. I mean, the moment that it's going to scale, that will be the moment that it's going to go down because the slippage will go crazy, right? Because then there will be more users coming in, and then the slippage will go even deeper and deeper because you don't have a lot of money into the pool to reduce the slippage, right? So it's nice now it's going, but in some point it's going to reverse himself and the slippage is going to be open, right? Now, I want to show you a different approach that we build with the SmartSwap that basically bringing to the table immediately unlimited liquidity. Actually, from day one, the SmartSwap will have unlimited liquidity from the entire different industry combined. And I will show you how, right? So first, let me show you the transaction here. So you can see here that I moved from the Ethereum side from this testing wallet A80, right? And then when I'm clicking on the Binance merchant side, you can see that I received to the same wallet BNB, right? Nothing else. I didn't claim, I didn't click, I didn't pay any BNB for my wallet. I just send it, receive BNB. Make sense? Yeah. Now, let me explain you how the unlimited liquidity really worked. Imagine to yourself a simple two pools, right? And let's simplify them. $1 million and another $1 million. One ETH and one BNB. We have two pools, right? Now imagine to yourself that you come along with $500,000 of ETH and you contribute to the ETH side. So instead of one, we become to be 1.5. And on the other side, instead of $1 million, you take half. So now you have $500,000 left. So basically you change the pool from 1 and 1 to 1.5 and half, right?
Yeah.
So what happened, every time the pool change ratio from 50-50 to 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, in some point, the SmartSwap trigger what is called flash swap. You're probably familiar with something that's called flash loan, but flash swap is something else. It's go to centralized exchange like Binance, and you say to basically provide a liquidity provider, hey, take $500,000 of asset B, return to me $500,000 of asset A. Now, the reason that those providers will play ball with us is because when we're charging the user, you see here the prices, it's a prices based on the average market cap, right? You do understand that if you go to Binance, you have spread, you have better price than the average. So you have incentive to pick up $500,000 and send a new $500,000 because you're left with more than 0.3% in your pocket when you do that, right? So therefore, every time the pool's change ratio, there is centralized exchanges provide a user that have account over there that basically use their account in order to rebalance the pools, right? And they don't need to do anything. It's like you minting Bitcoin. You set up the tools and go to sleep. Same thing here. You have an account, you plug in the API for the SmartSwap, and your account will do that in decentralized way, and you go to sleep, right? And every time the pools has been changed, basically they rebalance, and the user basically have unlimited liquidity because, as you know, first, most of the liquidity is on the centralized exchange and not in the DeFi. And second, it's like fountain. Every time you rebalance, you take the outcome, change it back to the original coin, and re-pushing it again to rebalance the next wave and the next wave. So it's kind of like fountain, unlimited. Now, the same way that we let a centralized exchange to rebalance the pools, we do the same thing with OTC. If you come along with big amount, and OTC can do that too. They can rebalance the pool. So what I'm trying to say here is that I want you to think about the SmartSwap like you think about PayPal. And I will tell you why. PayPal is not a bank. Maybe they have bank license today, but originally they're not a bank per se. What they are is a layer on top of your bank. They basically take money from your bank or depositing money into your bank in very easy way by sending it to email or cell phone, right? People like to engage with PayPal, even though they pay a little bit more, actually by far more, because it's a small gate to engage with something that people don't like to all the hassle to engage with. And the SmartSwap is the same thing. We basically find a way how to decentralize the OTC industry and decentralize the centralized exchanges. I mean, think about it. Why the heck do you need to go to Binance to do KYC, to do AML, to do second authentication, to do sign up, to deposit your money to hot wallet that may be hacked, maybe no, you never know, you're going to know. Then you need to place an order book, hopefully that it will be good, otherwise you need to claim it and redo it again. Then receiving on the other side whatever you bought and redeem it with another second authentication. And what? All that for moving from A to B?
Well, you did say that when you use that centralized exchange, you do get slightly better prices, right?
No, I mean, if you're a liquidity provider, you will open account on Binance or other centralized exchange, and you will pick up spread, and you will do that happily. But if Joe Schmo want to swap from Binance BNB to ETH, or ETH to BNB, or ERC20 to Cardano, Cardano to Polkadot, why the heck do you need to go all the way to Binance? It doesn't make sense. I mean, this is a door that you can send your order, and basically you will enjoy some liquidity from Binance without going to Binance. Or if I am Team Draper and I have $1 billion that I want to swap from one asset to another, why the heck do I need to go to see, do KYC, tell them why I have so much money and where I get it from? Why do I need to fill out all the information and actually trust them that I will give them that money and they will return me the other asset that I asked for and not will run away with my money? Why I cannot stay anonymous and push with my own wallet 1 billion zillion, and then it will rebalance behind the scene by OTC industry without me even engaging with them?
Well, the idea is that convenience and that anonymity and the ability to continue to participate in the DeFi side of things, right? Without having to go to the exchange and jump through.
Yeah, so in my vision, I will tell you that. So the way that I build the stuff is not how the market exists now. It's how the market will exist tomorrow. And tomorrow, all our industry, our community, it's peanuts. It's nothing. It's a group of small of people that play, but the magic will happen when the mass will come along. And you need to understand that if someone have digital money like dollar or euro, or you want to transfer to a Walmart token, to digital new Amazon token because it's alternative to Visa, Walmart Visa, or Amazon Visa, everything will be digital. Nobody going to go with his dinar or euro or pound or go to Binance or go to Uniswap. Nobody going to do that. I will tell you more than that. The SmartSwap have a component called Smart Bridge. And the Smart Bridge designed to solve exactly what I just told you. I will give you an example. Take a wallet. Let's say you have Trust Wallet, which is one of the biggest. And you want to go to play ball with some D app on the Binance Smart Chain. You need to log into your Trust Wallet. You need to swap your Ethereum, go to some DEX and swap it to BNB. You need to place an order. You need to pay a slippage or have some volatility plus to pay the fees. And then you need to feed your wallet with some BNB. And then you need to go to the D app. If there is leftover and you want to return to Ethereum, you need to reverse the process and do it again. Or if you didn't calculate it right, you need to do it again because you missed some and you short, right? That doesn't make sense. I mean, if you go to Dubai, are you really going to create a new credit card to pay dinar, or are you going to go with your own credit card, pay dinar for them, and when you come back home, you've been charged by dollar? That's how it's happening. It's under the hood. You don't even know what's going on. It's supposed to be there without you even noticed. And what we created with the Smart Bridge is a layer that is going to be on top of wallet. We're not going to create wallet. We're not in the game of having wallet. It's not our purpose. We are in the game to solve liquidity. So if you have a wallet, why you need to act like you act today? Take the Smart Bridge inside of your wallet as a feature integrated. And then what will happen when the user will go to some, let's say if we'll go to some different country and you want to pay with the digital one, you know, like you have in your cell phone and you put your cell phone next to some machine to pay. It may go directly from your wallet. So you can pay with dinar, digital, and it will be charged with digital money. And basically you can pay with BNB and you can pay with Cardano and you can pay with Tezos. But behind the scene, you're still holding it or BNB or Bitcoin. You can hold one token as a holder, but when you pay, the project will get whatever you need, but you will pay with your native token that you're holding in your token, in your wallet. You don't need to swap anything to anything. It's need to be simple, like you don't see it.
Yeah.
Make sense? And
yes.
And that's what I'm telling you here. is that we didn't create a swap. I know that swap is now today a famous word, but what we created here is the foundation of the entire economy, right? We can actually, and especially when you see how many blockchain you have today, right? It's nothing compared to the number of the blockchain that you have tomorrow. You have nice blockchain today, you have better blockchain today, you have super blockchain that is above the other blockchain because it's kind of connecting the other blockchain, and then somebody will build super duper, and then somebody will build super duper super. So it's like a race of nuclear that countries try to, every time try to beat each other. It's never going to end. And that's fine, it's okay. But why the heck me as a user need to hold so many tokens when I want to go to different DApp? Why me as a DApp, I need to launch myself on so many blockchain just because I want to engage with so many communities? It doesn't make sense. Choose your blockchain. If you like Tezos, go to Tezos. You like Cardano, go to Cardano. Wherever you like, pick one from the own reason and stay there. And then when user will come along with his Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, he will pay you with whatever you need, and he will not need to even know what you need. He doesn't care. It's just go and pay you because he have it and you need something else. You need Tezos, you get Tezos, he will pay with it. End of the story.
Yeah.
And nobody need multiply headache.
Yeah, well, that's how global payments should work, right?
That's how it's supposed to work. So what I'm telling you, the SmartSwap is not really a swap. It's kind of taking the industry from kindergarten all the way to university, right? It's graduation. It's like, it's a new level of open the door and prepare that to mass adoption. Especially when the bank and government right now talking heavily about creating digital money. And in the next few years, you're probably going to see it more and more take place, right? Now, another thing that, even though we created that in 2017, and obviously, as you know, everything that we're creating, we patent, right? And make sure that it will be protected from bad actors. We give it for free. So on one side, we protect ourselves from big player banks and whoever is a bad actor. But on the other side, we don't charge, we give it for free. So what I mean by that is that if someone wants to have his own SmartSwap, we have a license and we cost $0. We actually give you a license for free. You can have your own SmartSwap, you can have your own domain, you can have your own design, you can even have your own token. So your token will be here first to be seen. And basically you can even charge whatever you like. Instead of 0.3%, you want to charge it extra. Let's say you want to extra 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, whatever you want to charge extra, you're welcome to do so. My only rule for you is that whatever you're charging your user, make sure to reimburse them with your own native token with the same face value, so they will not end up losing anything. So they will still going to have free transaction, right? So that's the only built-in rules that we have. Now, if you're thinking about this concept, today everybody cloning each other and competing with each other and basically reducing the power, because then people do not have a better solution. Now you have a lot of money and spread and liquidity separate on many platforms instead of working as a powerful way together. Here we say, you don't need to clone anything. I will just going to give it to you. So if you have 10,000 users, I have 10,000 users, Joe Schmo have a 10,000 users, because everybody coming to the same network, as a long tail, it's going to be bigger as an average exchange in very fast way. So if you have a native token or your own token as a project, it's kind of get a listing for free. I mean, even if you don't have many users, you can enjoy from the network user that will see your token and will swap it with other token. You bring traffic to yourself without pay listing. Make sense? So that's how we think it should be. I don't believe in listing, by the way. I don't believe in try to take project all the way down. And when they don't have the money, you try to charge them like the billionaires. Everybody need to be, everything need to be open, need to be free, need to be transparent, need to be kind of democratized. So everybody can utilize that and be part of that and enjoy for that. And I don't believe in the way that, there should be some kind of a project that make money to the team. I will talk about that too. I think the team should become less. I mean, every project put the team on top and then everybody come later. You will see that in the moment that we will present our offering, you will see that the way that we build stuff, we actually come less, absolutely less. The first is come the public, the user, and the team come absolutely less. Make sense? Let me show you what we're doing, because on Tuesday, next week, which is my birthday, we're going to we're going to open basically the pre-sale to our community. And we have right now like millions of dollars of people that sign up that they want to invest. Some of them didn't wait and reach out to us, secure their allocation and the ticket with SAFT agreement. But let me show you the rationale of how we build that, because it's also different and amazing. Do you see here a pre-sale? Mm-hmm. So the way that we create our pre-sale is that charging or collecting very small amount. We didn't want to collect, $40 million, $150 million. We want to collect small amount that will be enough in order to support the project. So we only basically raising $2 million. And the fee, the baseline purchase price is 0.1. That's the baseline. But whoever going to invest during the pre-sale is going to have 90 days APY with 413%. So in other words, after 90 days, it's kind of equal to 50%, because instead of 0.1, you end up with 0.00495, right? So it's kind of 50%. And then the listing price is 0.2. So in other words, it's like to give you 75% discount, or in other words, 4X right on the door, right? So whoever going to participate here, this is the terms for the pre-sale. Now the pre-sale, for those that reaching out earlier, doesn't matter how big the VC are. First, we have limitation of $250,000 check, but even when big VCs reach out to us, they get the same terms that somebody will invest with $1. Everybody have same terms. Nobody have different terms. And then do you see here something called PDO? I want to explain what it is, because that's really amazing. First is something that we credit with a different project that we have. It's going to be launched soon. And the PDO is standing to post, not initial, post, right? A DEX offering. And I will explain what it means. Everybody raising money as initial, right? And then go to centralized exchange or creating liquidity. So first raising and then creating liquidity, pools or centralized exchanges, right? Now you need to understand that even though a lot of people try to raise money, or there is a lot of solution how to raise money from IDO concept, nobody helping to the project that already exists. And there is thousands of them out there with teams, with tokens that's suffering because they may launch, they may have nice daily trading, but they didn't have enough money to survive. They still need to support marketing and payment and development. And they cannot take the old token that they have as a team, dump it to the pool, because they will crash their own token. They cannot take the LP that they got and take money from the pool, because that will consider exit scam. They cannot take the token and trash it into secondary market exchange, because they will trash the entire ecosystem and the entire market making will be destroyed. So those teams kind of with the, with the back to the wall, they don't really can survive in easy way and scale. So every day they kind of getting more and more liquidity, but it's very difficult for them, and therefore they're dying. It's like the value of debt in startup. That's the value of debt with DeFi, right? So the PDO is exactly for them. The PDO designed for those that already finish pre-sale and finish IDO and finish IO or ICO, whatever you want to call it next. It's designed for those that are already out there. And first thing is to understand is that whoever buying from those teams, first do not need a white paper, because the project is exist, maybe it even have liquidity, and maybe even you are yourself a holder of that token. And second, when you're buying from the team, you basically have an APY and you have terms like 30 days, 60 days, 1 year, whatever the team want to sell the tokens under which condition, right? So what I mean by that, if you're buying token from the team under PDO, it's not like IDO that you rush in day after and dump your token, because you will not have access to those tokens for some period of time. So there is no kind of the effect of the clip that people rush day after and dump it, right? Another thing is that some of the token go to the team and the other token go to the pool. It have to be a split, right? And whatever go to the pool, you need to understand that it's go to the pool, but it's not generating LP and it's not taking token out. It's only increasing the pool by adding more money in. So what I mean by that, imagine yourself that you're selling token as a team and some of the money go to the pool, but you don't take token out and you don't take LP. What will happen to your token in the market? It's going up. When it's going up, there is no rush for other people that bought that token from you to dump because they lock. So basically you're increasing the token when you raise money with your own token as a founder, right, and team. And then the other people do not rush in to crash that nice pick because they're locked as well. So you kind of make healthy situation that you raise money in the other way. Instead of crashing yourself, you actually helping yourself. Does that make sense? So
yeah, just to clarify, when the person buys the token in this way, they have some kind of vesting, so they don't get it right away. and then half of the tokens that still belong.
It's not half, it's a combination. First, you need to have a pool somewhere. It doesn't matter where, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, we will find where is your pool. You will tell us where you want the money to go, and the money will go to that pool. Let's say you have a pool on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, your money will go over there. You can take as much as money you want out as a cash out, but your pool always need to be 200% of the amount that you take out. So if you have big pool, you can take all the money out. If you don't have a big pool, you need first to be in the ratio of 2-to-1, right? Okay. And you don't get LP, so you cannot take that money out. There is no LP. So the money only pushed to the pool, and whoever on the pool on everything, right? So you cannot take that money out. It belongs to the people, right? And what we're doing with that kind of a concept with the PDO is the same thing. So beside the pre-sale, we're going after the pre-sale is over, right? After 1 week or 2, we will open the PDO. And what will happen with the PDO is that we will sell the rest of the token to the public, but 100%, there's no money out to the founder of the team, 100% go to the pool. And there is no LP. And whatever is not sold, get burned. So 100% go to the pool. So what I mean by that, imagine yourself that this pre-sale have 90 days because they cannot engage with the token. And imagine yourself that after the pre-sale is over, right? After when the 90 days started, after a week or 2, we're starting the PDO, right? So what that telling you? They're telling you that when this group will be engaging with the token from 90 days from now, this group will still going to be locked for additional a week or 2, right? So when somebody here will want to sell some of this token, this group will not get panic because they don't have a way to get the token and dump like you have today with IO that everybody get panic. So, and then when this group will be open after 90 days plus the week or 2 that it starts, then this group will be locked and therefore they cannot get panic. So it's like we have 3 groups, big, medium, and small. The small being supported by the medium, and the medium being supported by the big. And hopefully after 1 year, there will be price discovery in the market, will be enough liquidity, there will be market making, there will be healthy market, so nobody will get panic when you will engage with the token because it will see already up and down and you see that the token is really stable, which is not what's going on usually with new token because you don't know if it's going to make it as $1 or 10 cents. The price discovery is not yet clear. So for example, you don't afraid that to buy Bitcoin because you think it will become to be $10. It's impossible to think like that anymore, right? But if you have a new token that will launch and it's peaking to $1, you don't know if it's going to crash back to 1 cent yet. The price discovery is not clear. But after 1 year, you have clear mind what's going on so you don't get panic, right? And the idea is to reduce the panic or reduce the stress and to have 3 groups that support each other. And that's a new model, right? Now, another thing, and I remind you, 100% go to the pool. And by the way, it's important also from security point of view. I will explain you why. Here, it's for accredited investor if it's regulated countries, right? And here, basically, everybody can participate, including the United States and a regulated country like China, because we do not touch the money. We don't have any money. Based on the Howey test, we didn't receive anything. It belongs to the public. And this is not different, by the way, the PDO. If you're familiar with mining liquidity, when you put token, you get other token from APY in order to provide liquidity, it's the same thing, but in a different way. We're basically mining liquidity here that go back to the public. So it's not our money. We don't touch it. It's 100% belongs to the people and they support each other. Make sense? Now, another thing that is very fascinating to understand about the PDO, and that's why I said it's running simultaneously as secondary market. Usually initial offering is not running simultaneously because nobody will go to secondary market to buy a token if in an initial offering you put discount, right? Nobody will buy it in secondary market. And if the secondary market is better than your initial, nobody will buy from your initial. They will go to secondary market. So here the PDO running simultaneously with secondary market, and I will tell you how. Imagine to yourself that the baseline price is 2 cents, right? So whoever comes to the PDO pay first 2 cents, right? But after you contribute the money, 100% of the money go to the pool, 100%. What will happen to the token when you have 90 days and nobody in the world, including me, have a token to redeem? Imagine you have 90 days with contribution, 0 possibility for redemption because nobody have yet the token. The price only can go up, right? So when people contribute and the price go up from 2 cents to 5 to 7 to $1, whoever going to buy next, he will not going to see 2 cents anymore. He's going to see 5 cents or $1 because the PDO pick up the price from the reality, from the pool right here, right now. If people redeem and the price go from $1 to 98 cents, he's no longer offering $1. Now he's offering 98 cents. So the idea is that the PDO pick up the price from the market and is offering APY. So it makes sense to you that if you don't want APY in 90 days close or 1 year close, you will go to secondary market, right? Because then you have a freedom to sell and buy on daily basis. But if you want to park and get APY, it makes sense to come to the PDO because secondary market do not give you APY, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how you create basically liquidity that's supporting each other and increasing the value. And I can whisper you because it's a math. Nothing is prediction. Everything is basic math, especially when you have a pool, you can run the number. I can tell you that if we start with 2 cents, and here there will be $1 million, not 5, $1 million that will be contribute, the value of the token here will not be 5 cents. I know that I put small amount because I don't like to put bigger amount, but by the math, if there will $1 million contribute here, the value of the token in the market will be $2, not 5 cents. It will be $2, right? And I can tell you right now that, like I said, we have like $2.4 million waiting this orders just for that, for the PDO, right? So it's going to be very fascinating to see how it's going to play versus the traditional IDO, IEO, and all the rest that all the time crashing. It's very fascinating to see if we've been able to create a new of this kind model that is acting better. Now, pay attention here that there is no treasury. You see that? Zero treasury. And you see that? There is no team and founder tokens. You see that too? What that means is that there is only a router. And what I mean by router is that when the project been created, the Alon Foundation received a little bit close to 20% token as a router. And if somebody have a token in our other project, let's say Jointer or BSwap or NFTMX or any other project in the network, and you want to move from this token to, let's say, Smart, right, or BSwap or whatever, you can basically go to Alon Foundation, and you can, using the router, you can basically buy different token with the same face value. And same as me, even though I'm the founder, if I want to buy Smart token, I didn't receive any token for free, not even one. I have to buy them. I have to buy them with my equity on the Atom Foundation, or I have to buy them with other tokens that I have once they will be unlocked, because most of the tokens locked for 10 years. So the point is that I will need to buy them. Nothing for free to anyone. Everybody equal, everybody play fair game, and everybody need to be on the same boat so nobody will shake it.
Playing devil's advocate then, why is the team working on this? Like, why would you launch it if you're giving the ownership completely to the community? What do you benefit from?
Let me show you. Sure, let me show you. So, okay, do you see this screen?
Yeah.
Okay, the structure of how Atom Foundation created. So Atom Foundation have a project that every one of them is decentralized. There is no entity, there is no human being, everything is based on voting. Now, all the project basically pay management fees. So every time there is 0.3%, for example, from the Smart, 80% buy Smart from the market, but 20% go back to the management, right, as a management fee. Also, each project gives some initial, as you saw, router as a digital asset to the Atom Foundation. Now, Atom Foundation have the Atom stock, which right now we complied it with Regulate A+, and then preparing to do IPO in the NASDAQ. So institution will be able to buy into the Reg A+ token, right? The public can buy the two. Now, the beautiful thing about that, if you have a token in our network, doesn't matter which one, you can basically take that token. Let's say you have Jointer token. You can take those tokens and you can basically use them as a way of payment to buy Atom stock and sell it on the NASDAQ. Or you can use them as a way of payment to buy other stock, or you can use them as a way of payment to buy any other stock in the router. If we have here pools of router, you don't need to sell the token in the secondary market. You sell them back to the company, but it have to be same face value. You cannot say, give me one and the one. It have to be exactly same face value based on the market. So you use your Jointer token to buy something else. And that makes sense because imagine that the Smart is booming, you did well, and suddenly the NFT max, you're feeling that it's going to hit the market next as the best boom. So you want to move from the Smart, instead of selling it and crush the token in the market, you want to sell it back to the company and pick up different router, right? So it's like it's an inside transaction. Make sense? And you don't affect the market.
So any of these projects, when they have tokens available, will be able to swap between them in the SmartSwap?
First, you can come to the SmartSwap to swap any type of token in the world. But here I'm talking about you using the token to buy into Atom Foundation stock. And then from there, you can buy back to any token that exists out there. So the router is token to Atom, Atom to back to token, or Atom back to the NASDAQ. So, but my point of view is that as long that you're in the network, you have the freedom of diversification. You can change your mind. You can move from A to B, from B to C. You have more freedom than put all the eggs on one basket, because you know what is project? It's statistic. It's a game of numbers. It's like startup. Some of them fail, some of them make it, some of them make it nice, some of them make it very nice. So if you have a lot, maybe one of them is the best and the rest is less, at least as long as you have the possibility to enjoy from unicorn if one of them make it successfully very high. I mean, it's good to be part of kind of a hedge platform. It's reducing your risk and diversify your possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, right, I'm an investor. I invest out of a fund, and that's part of our strategy, right? We have a fund.
Yeah, of course. That's a strategy of a lot of investors to spread the risk between more than one potential startup.
I have no idea from a legal compliance standpoint, but would you guys make some kind of basket of all of your tokens? Or is that
so
the same as
it's everything in smart contract. There's no human being. So you don't come to me and say, take my token, give me something. Don't touch it. You come to the smart contract and you're swapping basically from any token. First, you have your token. You can go to the SmartSwap, to the market and swap with Joe Schmo in the market. But if you want to swap it is an inside, right, with Atom stock, you can do that using the SmartSwap, or you can do that using the SmartSwap in order to move from Atom to Free Crypto or NFT or any other project that will be launched by the end of the year or next year. So for example, Jointer is the first project that we come up with to the market. It's late bloomer. We're expecting that to be boom next year or by the end of the year because it takes time to build it. Right now, we only accomplish one step out of 5. It's like so massive project. It's like Cardano, Polkadot that takes time, right? But eventually, the moment that it will make it, most likely the Jointer will be the biggest of the entire portfolio that we have over here, because it's like a decentralized REIT that's changing the game and basically democratize the entire commercial real estate industry. So why I'm saying that to you? Because the moment that we'll have is also digital asset that we're buying from properties, right? Because just quick understanding, when we acting as a jointer, we don't tokenize property. We buying tokens for properties that have been tokenized by other provider, like Securitize, Polymet, whatever, right? We are the buyer. We're buying those tokens and we're holding it like a REIT. And then we basically selling that either to accredited investor or to the crypto market, which two ways. So what he's telling you is that Atom Foundation going to hold tokens and digital asset and also tokens that belong to properties, right? That will be the portfolio. So what that means? That means that if you have a token, let's say you have a token called Smart, and it's worth $1 in the market, and suddenly the market is changing value, right? You know how the market is up and down every time there is a cycle, right? You need to be cuckoo to sell your token for half price with this kind of structure. And I will tell you why. The moment that you will sell it half price below the market because you get panic, sophisticated investor will pick that up, right? And you will convert it to Atom stock, and you will get basically Atom stock that represent all the digital assets, including the real estate. So it's kind of receiving 50% discount over a building. So in other words, all those tokens that you see here for the first time have a floor. You know, in the Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, there is no floor, but there's no ceiling either, right? You can go down, you can go up as much as you like. But here there is a floor because building real estate are not going to dive in the same way that crypto diving, right? They're not going to dive together. They're going to balance each other. So it's kind of creating a floor for cryptocurrency. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And obviously, if there is no liquidity in the crypto market, you can go into the NASDAQ, another door, or the other way around. They can come in because they don't know how to go to Binance, right? So they can buy into something that basically has exposure to crypto, like an NFT, without having an NFT. It's like a backdoor for NFT. So why I'm saying NFT? I mean ETF.
There's too many acronyms.
Yeah, too many words out there. It's similar. So you understand how big it can be? It really can change the game. And we hope that it will be kind of something that will scale to a very high level. And by the way, our approach when we're building stuff, it's important to understand because I've been asked about that more than once. We don't build a project and try to solicit people to come to our website like a traffic. To drive traffic to your website is a very hard job. And you need everybody's attention to work on it because it's kind of build your own Walmart, your own stop shop. And we don't do that. We're building stuff and we're taking it to somebody else Walmart. I will give you an example. we have some exchanges that reach out to us and say that they want to have the SmartSwap and the Degen swap. Just to know what is a Degen, so I will clear about that. This is a Degen swap, right? So the Degen is a brand that's not being created by us. Somebody else created that in order to compensate people that get hurt by some exchanges or other bad actor. And the Degen had that good name in the market, and we bought the community and the Degen and everything, including as part of that. And now we turn the Degen to be an aggregator, like 1inch. But it's not going to compete with 1inch. It's going to be an affiliate of 1inch. So what I mean by that is that when you come to the Degen and you want to swap, you will see the same prices as 1inch, because 1inch is going to do the transaction eventually. But here we're going to reimburse you for the gas and the fees, right? And also you will have one-click swap BP20 to USD20, so you don't need to do transaction on 1inch. So in other words, it's like, you know how you have a website that you're about to buy something, and then there's a pop-up from some companies, for example, Rakuten, and say to you, hey, I see that you're going to buy something. Do you want 2% money back? Yeah, sure. I mean, you're going to buy anywhere, right? Why not to pick up some percent back? So the idea here with the Degen is that since there is a lot of traffic everywhere and anywhere, we're just going to do piggybacking and just give to the user better terms than what they used to. And that's the idea of the Degen. Now, what I try to say about it is that there is a lot of centralized exchange today that's suffering from new development like DeFi. Because think about centralized exchange, it's like casino. They don't want you to leave. They want to bring the entertainment and the food and everything to you so you will stay home. But now people take money and go play on DeFi, on Uniswap. So it's hurting them. So what we're building is a solution to take our solution built in. So we have few exchanges that sending us a contract to take the Degen, which is aggregator for the entire DeFi, and to take the Smart, which is slippage free, and they want it to be built in inside of their centralized exchange. So people do not even need to have a wallet to log in. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because imagine that I'm centralized exchange with a lot of Ethereum, but not much BNB, a lot of Ethereum. There is no incentive for BP20 project to come and list and pay, because you don't have a lot of BNB traffic. But with the SmartSwap, because I have billions and zillions of it, it's the same thing like I have BNB or Cardano or Tezos. Who cares if I have it? You will get it. It will swap behind the same and you will get Tezos or Cardano or BNB as you need, but the user will still pay with it. Yeah. So that can bring user project to this centralized exchange, and it can keep the user in the centralized exchange from leaving.
Yeah, I love it. We've actually only have like 5 minutes. I want to ask you like 2 quick questions, because you've answered most of the questions already anyway. But one thing I want to throw out there, because you mentioned 1inch powering some of this stuff, and then you also mentioned being fair. There is a little bit of backlash against 1inch. I would suggest, if you can, using something like Total or even 0x, because they'll give you.
It doesn't matter who is the.
Well, it does matter. It doesn't
matter who is the
it matters, because 1inch shows you a price and you'll get that price. 0x or Total, when you get the positive slippage, you get the positive slippage. With 1inch, they keep the positive slippage as profits. So you will get more because of Total versus 1inch. Just throwing that out there, because it's something that people don't realize on face value, talking about face value.
You know, now that you mentioned that, you give me an idea that I will integrate maybe all of them and give you the best out of the 3. How about that?
You should, but the face value they show is different than what you get in the end. And so 1inch plays games and shows you a little more so that they win the swap sometimes, even though you'll get more with the other ones. So you have to be careful. But you'll be careful. I know you'll fight for the user. So
I didn't know that fact that they play with you. I didn't.
So, but they're finding ways to compete, which is why if you use something like MetaMask, although they charge a fee on top of it, you'll notice more of the swaps go through things like Total now than 1inch. But when they first launched, it was a lot of 1inch.
I will investigate.
Anyway. We shouldn't go down talking about other people, but one of the quick questions, because this is supposed to focus on the SmartSwap stuff, you have a bunch of projects, right? And people, a few people in the community asked where they were a little worried that is SmartSwap going to get the attention it deserves because you...
Yeah, so a very good question, because, okay, I want to be clear is that we do not want to build a project and now do marketing and drive people in and traffic and all that like regular project. What we want to do is build project and go to centralized exchange where there is already traffic and put it in. In other words, think about Alon Foundation like a company with product and manager product, but we don't build a Walmart. Why the heck I need to build a Walmart? There is a Walmart out there. All I need to do is put myself on the shelf. Other projects compete with those Walmarts, so they cannot do that. But we feeding everything that we're doing, including joint auction, is built in inside of exchanges, so they can have directly user from the exchange and from all those tools. I don't need to build anything when it's come to marketing. I just need to build stuff. And I mean, one deal with exchange, right? It's like you conquer, big community. Why do I need to go to those community if there is already millions of users on those centralized exchanges already? If that makes sense? It's it's a different approach. And you know how many companies have a lot of product that they put on Walmart? So you said to them, how can you have more than one product? I mean, you don't fear that you will not have different product attention? No, companies have more than one product, not in the blockchain, because if each one of them try to be its own home base, here we try to work with exchanges and other players that already have traffic, and we just want to, I mean, the smart bridge. I don't want to build a wallet. You know how much attention is to build a wallet and gain traffic to the wallet by user? Why the heck? I want to give it for free for Trust wallet. I want to give it for free for MetaMask. I want to give it for any wallet in the world for free, so they will have more users, enjoy from the spread, enjoy from the fees, enjoy from everything. I'm not in the game to make a buck here. I just try to solve liquidity and give it for free for everybody. And that's it. That's all we did. We need to build good tech, and we need to take that tech and push it into Walmarts, and we're done. That's what we need to do. And obviously, each project works with each other in a way that is powering each other. That's the concept. It's a different concept, but it's a winner one, because you can see in the industry, in the real industry outside of the blockchain, that it's working to put yourself in Walmart versus build one.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And all of these products work together. Like we started the conversation, right? So yeah. We're unfortunately out of time. I want to thank everybody, but Jude, tell everyone where the best place to go. So, Kyle just posted in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, we will announce also on the SmartSwap.exchange, we will have a link very soon with where people can go and participate in the pre-sale. If someone doesn't want to wait for the pre-sale to be open and you want to secure because you have big allocation, you can reach out, and like any other VCs or big player, you can basically have a SaaS contract directly with us. The terms for everybody is equal, so it doesn't matter. It's just if you want to basically secure a big amount. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to Kyle on LinkedIn. You can even contact us through the SmartSwap.exchange with the link, and we will try to reach out to you if you have big check and you say that you want to invest big check. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for joining. If you're live in here, check the chat. And if you're not watching live, see below. There's links to everything. Thanks everyone.
All right, everybody say thanks, Alon. You are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And Kyle, you have the ability to turn off the recording now. I've got a sneak.
Okay. Thanks, Alon. This was great.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jude.